All right, we got the speaker. Hey, Mr. Speaker, thank you, sir, for calling in.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. We were debating on the House floor. I had to step away for a second.
Yes, sir. Completely understand. So we were just talking about the possible suspension of the rules so that this ballot initiative process resolution could undergo further debate. Where do we stand?
Well, I don't know. I just learned a minute ago. Like I said, I've been on the podium presiding, and right as I stepped away to call you, someone indicated to me that they had passed a suspension resolution. I have no idea what it says. I have no idea what their plan is. As you know, the House has passed a plan 2 years in a row that stakes out our position. What we passed closely mirrors what was the original bill, and the Senate has just been way, way above that every time. So unless they plan to change their position, I don't know that it serves a whole lot of good or is going to accomplish anything. I don't know what their intention was in passing the resolution. They've had two opportunities in recent years to take it up, and it just hadn't gone anywhere. So the ball's basically in their court. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and Mr. Speaker, I've talked about this quite a bit. I guess we could continue debating the issue, but I'm not sure we can close the gap.
Me either. We've passed a bill 2 years in a row that, as I said, closely mirrors the original deal, and the number of required signatures has been significantly higher on their end of the building. So we'll just have to see. I have not had a chance to talk to them about. All the suspension resolution does is allow for the introduction of another bill. But what's the point if they're not willing to move any? I don't know that accomplishes anything.
Yeah. So you guys have been pretty busy the last few days, a conference weekend dealing with appropriations. What can you tell us?
Well, today's the deadline to pass appropriation revenue bills. We have a 2 o'clock deadline to pass those bills. We are in the process of doing that as we speak, getting the budget done. Then any bill that needs to be recommitted can be recommitted and refiled by 6 o'clock, and then it has to be voted on by 8 o'clock. I'm hopeful that we'll get them all done before that 6 o'clock deadline.
I just learned from Secretary of State Michael Watson that the House just recommitted HB 1310. That's the election integrity bill. Do you have any info on that?
I do not. It was a bill that we had passed earlier. It went to conference. I was informed that there were some changes made in that bill that deviated significantly from the original bill that was passed. I do not know what they are. The motion to recommit was made, and all that does is just send it back for further conferencing. It does not kill the bill at all. It just recommits for further conferencing, and I have not had a chance to look at that to see what the concern is there.
Yeah, usually that means that maybe those in the minority on a vote have some amendments they want to offer. Is that typically the case?
Well, not at this point. You can't amend a conference report.
Okay.
So all happens there is that the conferees will go back and discuss further whatever it is. I don't know what the concern is. There was significant upset over that bill, and as I said, that is not a bill we have to take up today. We have to take up appropriation and revenue bills today. That bill is a general bill. It can be taken up tomorrow. So we are on a 2 o'clock deadline to get those appropriation bills passed, and so I think the decision was made just to lay that one off to the side, and let's get the work that we have to get done today, and we can discuss that one later today and into tomorrow.
Yes,
so
sir.
That was not something that had to be done right here and now.
I understand. Any surprises from an appropriations perspective? As you know, the Senate proposed some changes in the MAEP formula, and I guess at that point would move to fully fund under the new formula, is my understanding, but it looks like that's dead.
Well, we have believed for a long time that the MAP formula is dysfunctional. It just does not work. Nobody understands it. It has been funded twice in 25 years. I think that speaks to the fact that it is somewhat dysfunctional. We, as you know, brought forward a plan about 5 years ago to change that formula. We passed it and sent it down to the Senate, and they couldn't get the votes to pass it. But we have never had confidence in the MAEP formula. We believe another formula is required. That doesn't mean we're not going to put more money into education.
Yeah.
We are going to offer a proposal to put more money into education, but we're just not going to put it into the MAEP formula. We did teacher pay raise last year, $250 million.
Yep.
Told, and I guess we need to verify this, but if you consider what we put into the MAEP formula last year, and you add to that the $250 million that we put in teacher pay, you come within the ballpark of what the formula called for. So when people say, are we fully funding education? I would argue, yes, we are fully funding education.
Yeah.
They want to argue that we're not fully funding the formula, but the formula is just a recommendation.
Right.
And so I would argue that we are, in fact, putting toward education the dollar amounts that the formula calls for.
Yeah, the formula, I think, is dated. Mr. Speaker, I know you're busy. You got Appropriations Day. Good to talk to you, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. We're coming right back in the Element Wealth studio.